What's up, kings and queens? You are back in the crease with Coach Seabass here. This week we had some major good goalie matchups, and it's definitely reflected in our goalies of the week. It's that time of year where you get through the first 2 weeks of your schedule, and now starts the hard part. Now you're starting to get some really good matchups here of really good teams, really good goalies, really good defenses. Remember, please send us stats. Some people keep stats, some people keep them and hide them, some people don't take them at all. But please, if you're a goalie and you want to be featured on the show, please send them our way. That's all we ask. We're just trying to help you out. We just want you to be on the show. That being said, let's transition into our girls of the week. Kicking off the list, we have Peyton Fowler, goalie out of Northeast High School, committed to Emory-Riddle University. She finished this week with 21 saves, a 78% save percentage, 3 goals against, 2 interceptions, and 2 ground balls. Next, we have Talia Passy. Talia had 36 saves with a 69% save percentage. She also had a 5.3 goals against average. Shout out to those 2 girls, but our goalie of the week from Jensen Beach High School is Grace Thomas. For those that watched our initial show, Grace is a Lindenwood commit and definitely one of the star goalies in the state of Florida. This week she put up 28 saves with a whopping 72% save percentage, 3 interceptions, 8 ground balls, and a 4.3 goals against average. If you go watch her play, if you watch any of her film, like I said in our first episode, she is very comfortable outside the crease, whether that be clearing, getting caused turnovers, or getting ground balls. She really is the full package in terms of a goalie. Thankfully, we were able to interview Grace for the show today. How did you first get into playing lacrosse, and what drew you to the position of goalie?
So I started lacrosse in around 7th grade. I played field. Okay. And then
sounds good.
In 8th grade, I moved to goalie because I was too rough in the field. I was just like getting cards, and it just wasn't beneficial, and we needed a goalie. So I feel like that's most of the goalie stories, is they needed a goalie and someone who's willing to jump in.
Got you. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good deal. What do you think the most crucial attributes, what's most crucial for being a goalie, mentally and physically, in order to be successful?
I think physically, just staying in shape. Like, people really want those goalies now that are willing to come out of the crease, willing to almost be a field player, because it is an advantage. It's your 13th field player, you know what I mean? Or your 12th field player. But yeah, so I definitely think they want more like people who can move, just like going to the gym, working out, staying fit. And then I think mentally, like, you have to have the mind of a goldfish. You have to, one shot goes in, you just have to let it go and look for the next one.
When getting ready for a big game, what is the most important aspect of your just preparation? So obviously, like, you know, you watch film, you get extra shots, you work with your defense, but like, what specifically for you is your most important thing?
I have a specific warm-up routine that I am very invested in. And if I feel like I'm struggling one day, because I mean, all days are different. If I feel like I'm struggling low one day, then I constantly do the repetition of it. I practice like I'm going to play, but I never play like I practice. I'm much more dirtier when I actually play, like I'm all over the ground and stuff.
Right.
And I think like taking a couple shots like that is very beneficial for me. But yeah, I like to get in the zone, listen to music. I like to do what Michael Phelps does. He gets to the pool early and he kind of pictures himself doing that. And that's really beneficial for me. Just being in the zone, being there, being ready for it.
Good deal. Sounds good. This kind of goes into the same kind of ordeal. Can you share any pregame rituals or routines that you find helpful in getting into that mindset?
Yeah, so I like to warm up. I do basically 3 in each spot, and then I'll do like, you know, just shoot anywhere top or anywhere mid or anywhere low. And then I'll do it like shoot anywhere you want. And I definitely think that's good. I love like 2v3s and 4v3s because they definitely get that fast pace moving. Sometimes it can be hard when you're just constantly getting shot on right before a game and you're not really making the saves you want to make, just because like it does beat your confidence a little bit. But yeah, it's definitely like getting that quick ball movement and seeing those quick shots around the crease. are definitely beneficial for me.
Can you share any memorable save or like game-changing moment in your career? So like, is there like a moment that you can remember, like where you like made a save that like, I don't know if like changed a game or like turned the tide of like your own career? Just whatever you want to say.
So my freshman year, we were playing our rival school, South Fork. And these past 3 years, we've lost to them, or the past 2 years, we've lost to them by 1 goal. But they've always been a really good team, and we've always been neck and neck. Like, it's always been a crazy game, tons of fans. But my freshman year, there was like maybe 3 seconds left, and they had a penalty shot. And I ended up saving that. So it was definitely... Wonderful. Like, you just get the respect from the team, too, especially being a freshman. It's not easy walking into a team with a bunch of seniors who are better than you and stuff like that.
For sure.
So that was definitely beneficial.
How do you handle setbacks or mistakes during a game, and what do you do to bounce back?
I think there's been times where, like, I've played my worst games and stuff like that, but I really look at it as, like, I just need to keep pushing. Just keep pushing. Just like, and I kind of look at it as like enjoying every moment. Even though I'm messing up and even though it's frustrating, like just enjoying the moment. And just at halftime, between quarters, going out there, getting extra shots, talking to your team. Where are you struggling? You know what I mean? And then throughout the game, you kind of get the gist on where are people shooting more, you know, and you kind of are looking towards there more. But just picking that up and keeping your head held high.
You kind of mentioned it before in the question before this one. Can you talk about the importance of leadership in the goalie position and how you demonstrate it on and off the field? So like, especially, you know, goalie, you have to be a leader, you know, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. But like, especially as like a young goalie, like obviously you're a senior now, but as a young goalie, you have to go into a team where there's like seniors that have played this for 4 years now, and you still have to be that voice out there. How do you feel like, A, your leadership has gotten better, and B, what it's all about?
Yeah. So you're basically the quarterback of the football team. And a lot of people will mistake that and say it's the middies or it's this person or it's that. No, the goalie is the quarterback. The goalie conducts what happens throughout the game and they explain, you know, what's going on. But I definitely think there always needs to be that leader that is going to be a little bit harsher, is going to keep people in check. You know what I mean? There's leaders that are going to let you kind of do what you want, but there's people that are going to keep you in check and they're going to make you better for it. Not beat you down, but make you better. But I think you still have to respect your older girls, your seniors, your juniors, your sophomores, whoever it is that's above you. You still have to give them respect. And a big part is just like kind of like a whisper in the ear, like, hey, do you think we could fix this? And then expressing that to the team as a just as an idea rather than like we're doing this. So I think letting everybody kind of have input on things is super important too, because like you are not the coach at the same time as you are the leader.
Got you. Yeah, definitely well put. Definitely well put. Kind of going along with that question, if you could go back and give freshman year you any advice, what would it be?
The recruiting process was really hard for me. I really had a dream to play in college, and I worked really hard for it. But I would definitely tell myself to stress less. Like, what is going to be is what it's going to be, you know?
Right.
There's a plan, and at the end of the day, you can't stress about it. Just enjoy the game. Because I can think of so many games where I was in beautiful places like Maryland and New Jersey, and I was at all these places, and I was so stressed out about the game and how I was playing, looking at the coaches, like, and you just don't enjoy it at that point, you know? You kind of lose the love for it because you're so stressed on what people think about you. So I think at the end of the day, just enjoy it, have fun. Don't be scared to make mistakes. Go out there, just play hard. Show that you give it your all.
Sure. I mean, I think there's so many kids that are in that category where they're just like, just so tense. And especially if you're playing goalie and you're playing tense, it's just.
And the problem with like being goalie too is you have to rely on your team. Like, this is a team sport. Like,
for sure.
You need your defenders to play good defense. You need your middies to get back. You know what I mean? Because there is like shots you, like, I know with high school, sometimes I'll struggle. It's like shot on the crease over and over again. And you're kind of like, what the heck? Like this, I know I need to stop these, but at the same time, there's only so much you can do at some point. Like, it's a team effort. Everybody's got to play a role into it.
How do you see lacrosse evolving in Florida, and what do you think the future holds for the sport in the state?
I think Florida is going to become a hotspot for lacrosse. I think when I started lacrosse, it was not super big. For 3 years, I drove 2 hours to practice and 2 hours back because there was no club teams that were good, none that traveled. So yeah, it was a big commitment. But like looking at USF getting lacrosse, looking at Florida State getting lacrosse, like,
right.
I mean, all these schools, and like, who wouldn't want to play in the warmth year round? You know, especially if you're from upstate Maryland or New York, like everybody wants to come to Florida. And I think at the end of the day, lacrosse is going to be very big in Florida. I mean, look at UF.
What do you enjoy most about playing the goalie position, and what keeps you motivated to constantly improve? So obviously, like, you're committed. So that's your motivation. That's got to be your motivation. At least that's what I think. But what do you love most about it? And like in the day to day, what kind of like keeps you going?
So I was like drawn towards goalie because I always played individual sports growing up. I did gymnastics, I did horseback riding, I did all those like individual sports where you didn't really have a team, so you kind of relied on yourself. And that was something I really liked about goalie. And it took me a little bit to like realize like, hey, that shot on the crease, it wasn't your fault. Like, it's just the defenders were behind. You know what I mean? No biggie, but like, it's okay. You can get past this one, because I would get frustrated with myself and I'd be like, why didn't I stop that? But I definitely think the celebration you get afterwards and the team running to you, no matter how good or bad you did, it just feels loving. It's like a team, you know? It's surrounding and it's happiness and everyone's excited. So that was something I really liked.
Good deal. What are your goals and aspirations for your lacrosse career, both short term, like this season, and long term going forward?
This season, I really hope we win district champs. Benjamin's been looking really good, but I'm really hoping we can pull through and work hard, because I know deep down, like, our team is good enough to play at their level and win, but at the same time, like, it takes work. It doesn't just come easy. And I definitely hope we win district championship, because that'll be the first time our girls lacrosse team has ever won it. And that would be really awesome for a senior season. And then long term, I am super excited to go to Lindenwood. I can't wait. But, you know, just being around the culture long term and getting to play lacrosse for my 4 years, I don't really see me playing pro or any of that. But yeah, I'm excited to just go and play lacrosse and have fun in college. Get to meet new girls. All of my commits are awesome, and it's going to be different, and it'll be fun.
That's awesome. Good deal. All right, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. See ya.
Bye.
Welcome to Drill of the Week. This is week 3, so you guys know the drill. We are here to provide drills and tips for you goalies to either use in your preparation or your warm-up routine. As goalies, we are always trying to get more explosive. You can never be too explosive. And that explosiveness starts with your footwork and getting in great position to handle any shot. We want to be as light on our feet as possible, and doing your basic agility drills can go a long way in achieving this. This is our Crease Kings footwork routine that we do before every game and every practice, just to make sure we get our footwork sound. It's very quick, but it gets the job done. We start with side-to-side bunny hops, followed by back and forward bunny hops. Next, we have scissors. And finally, we call it the cha-cha slide. We have over, over, back, back. Break this out before a game or in practice. And if you're looking to add difficulty, throw in some ankle weights. Ankle weights never hurt anybody. Throw in some ankle weights. Now we're taking a look at the top boys in the state this week. Starting off the list, we have Grady Turner from Lake Wales High School. Grady had 33 saves with an 85% save percentage and a 3 goals against average. After Grady, we have Eric Walker from Newberry High School. Eric had 32 saves with an 81% save percentage and a 3.3 goals against average. Obviously, great work by Grady and Eric this week, but our Crease Kings goalie of the week goes to none other than Zach Rosenberg out of St. Thomas Aquinas. Zach played Gulliver Prep and Community School of Naples, both in which we had goalies in our first episode, both in which were top goalie matchups, and balled out. In both those games, Zach totaled 19 saves with a 70% save percentage, 2 ground balls, and a 4 goals against average for those 2 games. Thankfully, we were able to interview Zach and bring him on the show. Well, thanks for joining the show, Zach. I really appreciate it. This is
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. How did you first get into playing lacrosse, and what drew you to goalie?
When I first started playing lacrosse in about 2nd to 3rd grade, and I played for like the local rec team around the corner, like literally 30 seconds from my house. And like me and all my buddies started playing, and my first, I think 1 or 2 seasons, I actually played attack.
Okay.
And I wasn't very good at it. Like, I scored so little goals, like my parents had to give me like toys when I scored.
Got you.
And then I think I'm not really sure. I think they kind of just like, I didn't like running when I was little. I hated running. It was like my worst nightmare. Yeah. So we didn't have a goalie, so I was like, I'll play goalie, because like when we were little, they just put Hector in there.
Got you. Yeah.
I think I kind of just went in there, and then I started playing, and then that's been all from there.
No, that sounds like kind of similar to like me. What do you think are the most crucial attributes for a successful goalie, both physically and mentally?
I definitely think mentally that you have to have a fishbowl mentality. Like, you can't like give up a goal and then be like thinking about it the rest of the game. You have to be like, okay, I give up a goal, who cares? Make the next save. That's all there really is to it. Right. And I also think from the mental side of it that you can't always be thinking about like what you're doing in the cage. Like, you can't be like, okay, I gotta step here, I gotta be in this positioning, I can't jump, I can't drop my hands. I think it's good to do that in practice because you're practicing. Right. But I think in the game, you kind of just have to go out there and play. You have to trust yourself and trust your instincts.
For sure. Totally. I mean, hopefully by the time you get to the game, you've done the reps so that it's second nature. When getting ready for a big game, what is the most important aspect of your preparation? I
definitely think film is one of the most important things. Like, I know myself, like when even for travel games, like when I was in 9th grade and we were playing Team 91 Maryland, the team I play for now, like I did a whole scouting report on all their players in school. Like, I was watching all their highlight tapes, and we ended up only losing 6-3 to the number 1 team in the nation, and we were up 3-2 at halftime.
Gotcha.
And I also think that, not so much like thinking about it so much where like we're up all night, you can't sleep about it. I think, you have to go there, you have to get a good warm up, eat good, hydrate. And I definitely think you have to be in the right mindset. You have to, listen to whatever music. I listen to one song, like it's usually like some like highlight tape song. I usually listen to like Anderson Moore. He's a Georgetown goalie's highlight tape.
Gotcha.
I always watch his highlight tape before the game because I feel like, he just really just explodes so much and he makes every save look so easy.
Got you.
I try to like resemble my game like his.
Awesome.
And I also think like, talking to your boys, like hyping each other up, that really like, gets you into the game right before a big game.
Yeah, totally. Perfect. Great answer. That's awesome. Can you share any pregame rituals or routines that you find helpful for getting into the right mindset? So kind of similar to what you just said. Anything else? Is there any like drills specifically that you have to make sure in your warm-up routine? Else, like you just feel like off a little bit?
Yeah, I definitely, I like to jump rope before a game because I feel like it gets my feet set. And I also like, sometimes like I will, before games, like I'll get shots before practice, like before, like when the team's stretching, and then like I feel like we always have to do like some sort of live draw or like shots where they're going anywhere. Because when you're warming up, like you don't think like you're like I'm going to the ball, I'm just going to it regular, but there's like that subconscious like, okay, I know it's going top right, I know it's going top left. So I definitely think me getting live shots before a game is very, very important because it kind of puts you in a right mindset. And I also think another thing is getting hit with the ball. I like to get hit with the ball for a game.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of wakes you up. How do you handle setbacks or mistakes during a game, and what do you do to bounce back?
The way I handle setbacks is, personally, you can't point fingers at, like, you don't make a save or give up a shot and you let it in. Sometimes, like, it may be someone else's fault, but you can't, like, point at them and say, come on, you got to go there. Like, what are you doing? You got to bring your team in. You have to, if you should have made the save, then you got to go, like, that's on me, boys. Like, I should have had that one. Like, honestly, I just forget about it. I'm like, okay, I'll make the next save.
Right.
And, I also think like like getting back into it, like even like before the game, like I'll like hit the pipes, I'll be like, okay, I got this. Like I definitely think being with your teammates helps a lot. Like just like being around, being like, yeah, you're all good, no worries. Like because you can't make every save, you're gonna get scored on. It's bound to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
So I definitely think just forgetting about it and just honestly having that goldfish mentality and just being honest with yourself, being like, I should have had that one, and talking to your teammates about like what to do better on the next play. Like if you didn't rotate fast enough, or like someone didn't slide, or there was not enough communication.
Yeah, totally. Sounds good. Yeah, great answer. Can you talk about the importance of leadership in the goalie position and how you demonstrate it on and off the field?
I definitely think communication and leadership is one of the most important things for a goalie that's underlooked.
Right.
Personally, in all of my highlight tapes, like I put like my communication towards the end.
Right. Just
because I think it's a big aspect of the game.
Yeah, totally.
Because you're kind of like the quarterback of the field. You can see everything from your standpoint, because the defender's defending the ball. Like he can't see what's behind him, so it's your job to communicate to the other defenders. Be like, there's a pick coming left, there's a pick coming right, or like watch the cutter up top, watch the backside, like on man down. Like I definitely think that's an important part. And I definitely think other than like the communication on the defensive side, I also think hyping each other up, hyping the offense up when they score, and hyping the bench up. Like I definitely think that's a big part of leadership. Knowing like your goalie has your back, and like diving for ground balls. Like going up when someone else makes a good play. It just builds that like team chemistry and that camaraderie.
Totally. If you could go back to your freshman self and give that kid advice, what would you say?
I would tell myself to never give up, and also to get in the gym more, put on a couple extra pounds of muscle.
How do you see lacrosse evolving in Florida, and what do you think the future holds for the sport in the state?
I think from when I was little, lacrosse has definitely evolved a lot. I don't see it slowing down. Kids are, club teams are getting kids as young as like 2032s already signing up for travel lacrosse.
Yeah.
I know when I was there, like I was probably one of the youngest teams, like in 2025, and I was like 8 years old. Now they have kids playing at like 5, 6 years old.
Yeah, tiny kids.
Yeah, little tiny kids, like probably in first, second grade. And I don't see it slowing down. And I also think, how many tournaments there are and how many like big events like the IMLCA and other like national showcases are down here, especially for girls too. Okay. And like I know in Tampa they have a lot of girls lacrosse showcases. Totally. So I definitely don't see it slowing down, and I think the pop up of new club teams and like the opening of some like snipers I know was a big thing, and it kind of slowed down. Now it's it's way up there.
For sure. Yeah, it really. I mean, the amount of club teams that pop up.
Yeah, I think it's
so many.
I think it's extremely good for trying to evolve lacrosse in South Florida.
Yeah, definitely.
And I also think like getting kids to like the national thing and like getting the club teams to go out of state. I think that's also just so important, and I think it's just going to keep going up from here.
What keeps you motivated to continually improve?
I think what keeps me motivated to continually improve is reflecting back on the saves I should have made and understanding what I could have done to make myself, be in that position to make this save. Because, you might not think of it, but it's always in the back of your mind, like, okay, like, I remember, like, before the game, you're thinking, like, okay, like, remember, like, last game I got scored on, like, offside low because I was too far over my pipe, Right. Let me make sure during the game, my positioning is really good, Maybe I take an extra second to double check when the ball's swinging around.
Got you.
And always trying to be better for the team, because one more save can make the difference. Getting a save back that you should have had, that can make the difference in the state championship or not.
Definitely. I mean, never satisfied. Truly never satisfied.
Exactly. Relentless effort is what our coaches said.
So many coaches say that. Okay, 2 more. Can you share any experiences or lessons learned from being a part of a successful team or winning championships?
I think one of the biggest things from being on a winning team, and my travel team and St. Thomas, were some of the biggest in Florida, and my travel team, we've won 105 games in the past 3 years and lost 3 and tied 2. So, I mean, I think from winning so much and being part of those teams that, you can't be expected to win.
Right.
You can't go into a game and be like, okay, like, we're so good, like, we're just going to win, because that takes all the hunger, all the pain and suffering that goes into the grind. It takes it all away because you're just kind of like cocky, and I think that just like ruins it, because then you go in the game and you the bed basically.
Yeah.
Because you're like, why are we winning? Like, we're supposed to be so good.
Totally.
I think you always have to play your best. You always have to try your best, and respect the grind, and just know in the back of your head that it's the other team's Super Bowl. Like, you guys, like, we have a target on our back.
Finally, what are your goals and aspirations for your lacrosse career, both short term and long term?
Short term wise, I definitely want to leave high school with, hopefully 2 state championship rings.
Yeah.
I think that's the best outcome. Giving the seniors, their last hoorah, letting them go out with a bang. I think there's a big part on me in the defense to do that for them.
Yeah.
And, to not let them, all the hard work go to waste, not to make it all the way to the championship or the semifinals just to get kicked out,
Yeah.
Long term wise, I definitely want to play in college, definitely D1, D3, and, get a good academic career out of it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely, when I'm older, definitely going to want to coach my son,
Gotcha.
coach my daughter. And definitely, like, I've been, even for fun, like, most like, I feel like most, like, lacrosse coaches, they don't do it just for the money, they do it for the fun, because they love the sport.
Yeah, you definitely just don't do it for the money. You do it for the fun. So, no, that's
Exactly.
awesome. It is fun. It is fun. You'll have a great time doing it.
For the love of the sport.
Great talking with you, man. It was super enjoyable.
Great. Definitely.
Yeah.
Have a great night.
Yeah, see you, man. You too.
See you, bye-bye.
This week on our gear review, we are reviewing none other than the stringing services of Mr. Wonderful. Everyone knows Mr. Wonderful in the community. He strings up wands. And that's, wonderful. Everybody knows him. If you're a goalie and you don't live under a rock, you have definitely heard of Mr. Wonderful. He is amazing at what he does. I shouldn't say that. We're going to get into the review first. Several goalies, several parents have asked me where to get quality stringing done. And there are a few different answers. There's a lot of different stringers out there, and a lot of them have a really good product. But no one quite has the track record of Mr. Wonderful. This man will get you right every single time. This man will get you right 8 days a week. Trusted by the best in the world is because Tommy Bruno is the best in the world. And he has the resume to prove it. Some goalies, especially those just starting off, are using undialed sticks. And we all know what happens when you use a stick that is not strung properly. Horrible rebounds. Sometimes you're just using a tennis racket. Those clears might just go straight down. You really don't know. They're super unpredictable. And obviously you need to get a string job done. But who do you go to? Lots of questions. Who do you go to? Tommy Bruno, Mr. Wonderful, does not let that happen to you. Tommy Bruno, Mr. Wonderful, answers all those questions. My stick right here is a Maverick Base 2, super old head, like me. I'm super old now, apparently. Apparently 25 is the new old. But this is my go-to right now. I love the Maverick Base 2. I wish Maverick would bring it back. It's such a quality head, but the one fault to it is it doesn't have many stringing holes or stringing options. But that doesn't matter, because Tommy Bruno, the man, cracked the code. Mr. Wonderful put in a setup that turned my stick into a wand. And that just goes to show you that man can string any stick you give him. Whether it's Eclipse 1, 2, 3, Impact, any of the Warrior Nemesis lineup, that man can string it. It has great rebound control, throws like butter. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Obviously, Mr. Wonderful, kind of the GOAT. Kind of the GOAT when talking about stringing goalie heads. And he also does field sticks. You don't really talk about field sticks here. We don't need to. This is a goalie show. But just throwing it out, he can do that too. Thank you to Zach and Grace for coming on the show. It was truly a great time talking with you guys. We've had a tremendous amount of support with the show so far. Thank you to Florida Lacrosse News for partnering with us with this. And please, Max Preps is great. Some coaches put their stats on Max Preps. Some people don't keep stats at all. Some coaches keep stats but don't upload them to Max Preps. That's all fine. If you want to be on the show though, we need them. We need the stats. Send us the stats. I won't go sharing your entire team stats. I truly don't care about the rest of your team stats. I want to know about the goalie stats and the wins and losses. That's all we care about here in the Crease. Truly. So send us your stats. If you want to be on the show, if you think you had a ball-out week, please send us those stats. I keep saying please every single week. Please, let me help you. We will be back next week in the Crease. I'm Coach Seabass. I'll see you guys on the next one.